One of the reasons why you can't really do this by yourself and you can't trust yourself is we tend to steer ourselves in the wrong direction without knowing. And a good example of that is this show that I watched called Mythbusters. They basically said you can't um, walk in a straight line blindfolded. So they tested this out and they were blindfolded, they had earmuffs, they had a target about 100 yards away, and every single time they went in one direction and the other direction, and the whole time they're doing this, they're thinking, I feel like I'm slightly off, and they overcorrected themselves. That's kind of like the way we are in our addiction, because um, we have our own perception, and when we're traveling, walking with God, we'll get to a point where our life is not going the way we want it, and without knowing or not knowing, we start choosing our own perceptions versus God's perception, and we start steering off in the wrong direction. We end up going in circles. And so, how do we get back to walking with God? And how do we get back there is by letting go, by giving up, and just completely uh, renewing ourselves each day, renewing of the mind. It's important to be in a group, in accountability with other men. We tend to keep secrets. We have stuff in the dark, whether we know it or not. There's a lot of stuff we do know, um, and we choose to keep it secret. And then there's stuff that's in the dark that we may not know about until we start peeling this onion, this layers of the onion, and we start finding out more stuff. But this darkness uh, drives our sin, and it drives us away from God. And when we bring ourselves to meet with other men and to be open, transparent, and vulnerable, we begin to shed this darkness into the light. And that's when the true healing starts to happen in our lives, and changes will start happening. Uh, our wives will start seeing differences. And she is trying to let me understand what she's going through. But what it took me a while to understand is in her healing, she needs to let go of that anger, and she needs to get angry at me. She needs to yell. And the way I need to take it is not personal, not defensively. Just understand that she's healing and that she is hurt. I put her in that situation, and with God's help, I continue to work uh, and grow my relationship with God, um, not for her, but for myself, to build this relationship with God. That love will start pouring down from Him, and I'll just continue to pour it down into my wife and my kids, and new perspectives, new openings, new opportunities will start being revealed, and it's just amazing what God can do if you really work hard.